Yeah, we should be up and rolling, man.
Are we live?
We should be.
Okay, man, we live.
Yeah. Y'all put it in the chat. Y'all see something. I see a few people chimed in. Do it like a 5-minute little pre-show or something. Past my bedtime, Jack. Real.
Oh man. Let me see.
Crypto Scales, what up? What's happening? Let's do my fan. Ishmael. Hold on, man. Let me get my fan. Hold on.
What's up, everybody? What's going on, man? I see Crypto Scales, Blue Lotus, Love Moves, I Am Goddess, Skills in the building. What's good, man? What's good? Let's see. Who else we got in here? Natasha, Miss Gemini. What's going on?
Hey, be quiet.
Let me see here.
But you heard me.
What it do, man?
Hold up.
Let's see.
Trying to get this.
Let's see here. What's the... Let's see. Oh, that's right, man. It's streaming on both channels, right, DeBeer?
Yeah. We on both. Latasha Glow, what up? Skizzios, what's going on? LaRonda from Compton.
I've been waiting all day for this. Infinite Grace said they've been waiting all day for this, man.
What up, Infinite Grace? Yeah. Everybody thumbs up, man. Everybody that's in the building, click a thumbs up so everybody can chime in, man. Get on. I Am Goddess 369, looking real fine. Let me see you shake it one more time. Get low. Well, what's up to you? Man, Ruby was talking about that the other day, man. I miss Yin Yang Twins. They was off the hook, bro.
They was definitely off the hook.
Hey, that nigga, let me play with your panty line. Club. And then nigga said, the club owner said I need to calm down.
Erica from Chicago, what's going on? We see you in the building.
What's happening? What's going on?
I
don't think Charles gonna be able to pull it off. Can't wait to hear from the stars. Oh man, I ain't even looking up in the sky, man. There's 33 people up in here. Skills, man. What you working on, bro? What you in the lab? What you working on? But yeah, everybody thumbs up for me, please. Everybody that's here so far, do a thumbs up. It's 9:00. Man, I ain't even called Let me go and tell her happy birthday, man. Let me text her real fast. Boy, you got a birthday on 9/11. You shall forever be overshadowed.
Let me see here.
Love moves. All right, man. 9 o'clock, man. It's 9 o'clock. As promised, 9 o'clock. People still chiming in. Man, if y'all can, man, if y'all one of those people, man, if y'all got Facebook or something, go ahead and hit the share button, drop it on your page. Drop it. Sharing is caring. Go ahead and drop it. Let me see if I can get this mic out of view. Oh, Nebula. Key stop. You down in Mexico? That's what's up. Appreciate you.
Thank you. Yeah,
Appreciate you too. Chiming in.
Hey, Monica, we see you. Starry skies.
Monica, what's going on? Share on Twitter. Appreciate it. Everybody, thumbs up. All right, man. You want to open up, man? You a little bit more versed than me, man.
Oh
You
no.
know, hey, I get my news from you. You
Hey
know,
man. So all right, man. How we gonna do this? First of all, appreciate everybody coming out to kick it with us this evening. Uh, we're gonna delve into the spiritual aspect of things. Uh, and quite honestly, uh, what I want to call the lack of playing offense
mm.
too, and always having to backpedal and play defense, but masquerading as if it's as if you were the aggressor.
The divine order.
Right. Um, but so yeah, so y'all here tonight, y'all know the subject. We talking Queen Elizabeth. Um, she passed late last week. Today's Sunday, so they say today's technically the first day of the week. So she passed a few days ago. I think it was Thursday, if I'm not mistaken, of last week. And it's been a lot of commentary back and forth about what she represented, who she was, et cetera, et cetera. And I want to say this too, as we open up this broadcast. I'm not talking about this from a political viewpoint for the most part, because we, you know, we know about colonialism and uh, some of the things that have happened through time in relationship to people of color, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. We know these things already. What we want to talk about tonight, though, is more so the phenomenon of light and light's position on the matter, as far as how it chose to show up in this particular instance with Queen Elizabeth passing. Um, and we're gonna talk about some of the threads though. I've been seeing the the Michael pendant with everybody saying, Michael's stepping on the neck of a black man, right? That one picked up steam and went viral. Um, Also, a lot of people saying, this is a sign that the empire is falling. That's been some of the rhetoric and the dialogue behind it too. And we just gonna see, does any of that really stand up though, or is it just a moment where um, people are taking a symbolic victory, right? Which is interesting because the symbolic victory is coming at the hands of what those same people would consider to be very physical events in history from the opposing side. And so I think that kind of lays the foundation for uh, the angle that we mostly going to approach this thing from this evening. What say you, Noble?
Yeah. Let's damn, well, we just gonna have to get into this thing. We just gonna have to poke the bear on this one. It ain't no way around it, man. You know, man, you know, at the end of the day, right? We are, and when I say we, Black America is hurting from slavery. I don't know what Caribbean American feel. I don't know what the black folks in England feel. I don't know. I know my fellow comrade African American is really, really hurting from slavery. I am too. And you have to find an outlet for that expression because it's just healthy and unhealthy not to find one. And the truth of the matter is, I nor we as African Americans, especially African Americans, you're not going to do anything in the United States about any injustice thus far, let alone go to England and deal with a queen or a king. Okay? So we need to understand that. You're not historically on the record. I mean, we just going to have to call it for what it is. Historically on the record, and black women, you are excused from this conversation. The black man is not on the record as a collective Nat Turner or Denmark Vesey. The black man on this soil in the United States of America is Chicken George. Okay? He is no so massa. Yes, sir, boss man. That's who he is. He's not like the Haitian who overthrew European what's the word? Colonization, right? It just don't run in the bloodline of the African American slave. So historically speaking, what happened was a few things. The spirit said, okay, Chicken George, we give it to Harriet Tubman. And I always say, where the hell was Mr. Tubman? Where was he? And he's not on the record riding with her. The story does not reflect Harriet and Bubba was together doing this thing. The record actually reflect a white gentleman by the name of Colonel James Montgomery gave Harriet Tubman guns. See, before the Civil War, there was a war out west in the Kansas territory known as Bleeding Kansas. And John Brown, the infamous white boy, John Brown and his sons, they went to Kansas and showed up and started killing white people who wanted to bring slaves into the Kansas territory. This was known as the Bleeding Kansas. The Border Ruffians were the people who wanted slaves, and the Jayhawkers was like, "No, you're not. You're not bringing no slaves west of the Mississippi River and coming over here into the new territories. That's bogus. This is a fact." And then a gentleman by the name of Reverend Henry Ward Beecher from New York started shipping rifles inside of these crates and sent them down to, and the crates were titled Bibles. So if Confederates would check on the train and look at the freight, they'd think it's just Bibles, but the Bibles were really rifles, right? At our assistance. And this was Christianity that was doing this, by the way. I want to be clear. These are Christians who are doing this, as far as putting rifles inside of crates marked as Bibles. And then there was another group of Christians known as Quakers, Society of Friends, who were very instrumental in the early 1600s, right? In saying, no, we're going to educate black folks. Y'all tripping. We ain't on that. We believe in God and every man is free. This is the truth. This is the truth, right? And so, historically speaking, I'm just saying, black folks today have to stop pump faking like you're harder than the people who were experiencing the absolute, the climax of the issue known as slavery. Okay? So you're not dealing with nothing on your own landmass. Hence, after the bleed in Kansas took place from 1854 and bled into 1861, we're now in the Civil War now, and we know what happened with that. It was, again, white folks, abolitionists, Christians. Yeah, you don't like to admit it. Christians who came through and put in work. So let's just paint the picture clear. Let's just be honest about it, right? I don't recall any African nation coming onto the American soil saying, "Free our long lost brothers and sisters and mothers and fathers." They didn't do it. No Muslims showed up. No Native Americans rode against it while we was being kidnapped and chained up in their backyard. They didn't say evil white man. In fact, the Cherokee, the Chickasaw, the Creek, they said, "Oh yeah, okay, yeah, we're gonna have some slaves too." And then they fought with the Confederates, but we don't never talk about that. I know we don't never talk about it, right? And so I just have to tell the truth that you ain't as tough as you really pump faking to be. We need to stop that. We ain't made that way. Even in the climax of things, we don't do nothing. Okay? Now, my partner always said, there's either two things really gonna happen. Really, one thing, are you really sitting back waiting for divine intervention? Okay? If that's what it is, then we're gonna have to start exploring some aspects of this divine intervention that you want, right? And listen, man, listen. You can be mad at listen, I'm gonna put it this way. I did a webinar last night with my private circle, right? And we was talking about a gentleman by the name of Saint Benedict the Moor. The Catholic Church venerates and holds this guy up because the Catholics go through a process, bro. You got to be blessed and you got to be venerable, and then you can go off to be a saint. And then you just can't get that title saint without them comparing your actual works against science Wait a minute, was this person diagnosed with cancer? Did they go back to the hospital to get any treatment? They didn't. Okay, and the cancer was gone. Oh, no, 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 no. Okay, he did it again. Oh, no, 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 no. We're gonna go through a process, and we're gonna put you up into saint status. Saint Benedict the Moor, which is obvious, right? Black man, patron saint of Sicily, right? If you look at their church, what the Christian church is doing is they say, Saint Benedict the Moor, you are the patron saint for Africans and African Americans, along with Saint Martin de Porres. Ooh, I can't wait to get at him. Y'all better go study this dude. He was dope, right? Y'all the patron saints for Black America. So when we put our churches in the inner city, Inglewood, Southside Chicago, Westside Dayton, Pittsburgh, we're going to put St. Benedict the Moor church and school, if we're going to do a school, in this area because he represents the Black Moor, the Black man. But in Pittsburgh is very interesting because the sign, and y'all go Google this, open up a window because I ain't about to listen. I don't feel like getting into a PowerPoint and showing y'all stuff. Y'all go look it up yourself, okay? Go look at St. Benedict the Moor Church in Pittsburgh and tell me what their logo is. It's going to be a cross, and it's going to be a ribbon like thing around the cross, and its colors is red, black, and green. Black power. No, that's what it is.
I know.
That's what it is. Black power. Now this means something, ladies and gentlemen. You know what that means? They just trying to appropriate the culture, brother. That's what they always do. Okay. But wait a minute. I thought the argument used to be Plato and all them boys came, Aristotle, they came on down and learned from the Egyptians. And then Christianity is nothing more than a bastard child of Egyptian sciences. And Jesus is really a H, which is Jesus, which is really Heru, right? Okay. So then if it's just a bastardized science or a replica of the original, then it's the same thing. It's the same thing, right? So now you have to be looking at always trying to figure out where the chinks in the armor is. Is it appropriating culture? Or is it saying, yo, come over here and cloak up and put this work in? Hence, again, I'll give you a reference. The Bible or the rifle, or the Bible and the rifle, Henry Ward Beecher out of New York. He wasn't playing them slavery games. White boy, pastor of the church, right? So when I see this St. Benedict the Moor with the red, black, and green, and we understand, oh, you mad at Michael. Listen, I got a rosary on right now that deal with Michael. I'm convinced, I know for a fact, especially in the year 2013, to be precise, no one has invoked the angelic presence of what Michael represents more than the priesthood, and I'm going to tell more than that guy right there on the screen with me. I was on something kind of different, and I'll chime in with it, but that was his head thing right there, not me. I want to be very clear, okay? Very clear. And I know how that pops up back in this reality.
And it's not pretty.
It's not pretty. And anytime you want to get on some, and I just got to say it, some gangster shit. I said it in one of them rhymes, say something like 40 cal like Vallejo. When I see the Ku Klux Klan, right? And I said something like, what I say, I call the angel Michael, right? This is serious business. If you take a target and you put the Michael energy on that target, oh buddy, oh buddy, it's lights out. Cause see, what see, if you're mad that white folks saw black folks as evil and they put Michael standing on top of this black dude, right? Then if you're saying that particular practice, that prayer, anything associated with the order, excuse me, of Michael, man, then the only thing you got to do is just go invoke your own damn ancestors then. See, we're going to have to get to that too. You just got to go invoke your own ancestors or invoke your own angels or whatever it is of your system to go put this work in. Because at the core, what you're really saying is, see, this is the thing. Nobody's coming to you with guns and saying, get in concentration camps, nigga. It's King Alfred playing. Rex 84 finally is here. Which, by the way, it ain't never came. Right? It's finally here. The war is not on that particular plane. So is the war dealing with wickedness in high places? Is it more of a mental, spiritual prayer thing? Because if it's there, then the only thing you have to do is do you.
But the problem, Noble, they really don't believe.
They're like, and they don't know.
That's
They don't,
that's the problem.
and they don't know they don't believe because they think they do.
Exactly. Or they've never seen a demonstration where somebody has said it, projected it, and it happened. Although we've shown that for many years. For many, many years. And so the thing is, here's my question though. Here's my question. Because like you said, we have to talk about this ancestor thing too. Here's the question. Some people saying it's a reset button happening, right? Here's the question though, Noble. They allowed her to live to 96 years old.
Yeah. Where were your ancestors?
Thank you.
Where were your ancestors?
And then what's changed? Guess what's going to happen? The succession of lineage is going to keep that thing moving. It's called now King Richard.
It has reverted back to the white man.
Yes. In fact, for all intents and purposes, you have went to a downgrade according to a lot of people's philosophy. At least the queen was the matriarch.
Yeah. If we want to tap into the divine feminine,
at least she was the matriarch. But now you're back to patriarchy, right? So my question be, this is why I say and it's all out of love, man, because we gotta get past this this psychological. It's like, like I said, it's like a passive aggressive thing. Like if we got, for instance, I said this on my Facebook the other day. I said, look, be honest. Y'all don't really care that the queen is dead.
Nah.
There's no real feeling of relief that she's dead. It's more so of a, it's the 100th monkey effect. Oh, they're making fun, so let me jump in and make fun too. Oh, you know what I mean? And so let's say the most hurtful things that we can, and I'm not here to protect the queen in any phase of it. I'm here to deal with the psychology of the people who look like me, right? Who may need to be taking a different trajectory in relationship to how they get a result for what it is that they say they dislike of what's happening, right? And so, and this goes back to your original statement, right? If we're not going to do nothing physically, right, then the only other thing you only got a few options. You're waiting on some more white people to step in and
Mm-hmm.
change it, which is really
Mm-hmm.
really what you in today's climate.
Mm-hmm.
This is really what people are asking for.
It's called Black Lives Matter. We see who be
Yeah,
out there. We
yeah,
see who be out there.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You're waiting on some more white people to do what? Reform this, change this law, write this into law, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Right? So it's either you're waiting on now look at the psychology behind that. This which is why we always have to tell the story from the other side that shows where these white folks was more about it for you than you were for
Way.
you.
That's right.
So what you essentially saying is this: if you're asking, imagine asking the same people to change laws, do this, that, and the third, who at the same time you're calling them white supremacists, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whatever vitriol that you have, could you like imagine talking shit about somebody and then telling them take me shopping, right? Imagine talking shit to somebody and then tell them co-sign for me that car,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so it's almost it's really a backward psychology, but because the Aries principle, the action principle, where it's going to be some real action, has never been present, at least collectively, right? Then the only other option you really have is two, to just roll over, die, and be defeated, and nobody wants to do that, right? Or two, like Noble said, which I have been saying for years too, where is this spiritual power? Where is this ancestral power?
Yes.
Where is it at?
Yeah. Because let's be clear, it did not happen through the alleged 400 years of slavery.
No.
There was no intervention. There was no power that overturned the boats and drowned everybody on the boat. And the white man said, "We better not do this because the boats keep sinking. I quit. Let's do something else." That ain't what happened. That's not what happened. There has never been a divine intervention to intercede on behalf of black folks that stop white folks from kicking off in your ass, besides at the time of the Civil War.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. That is it. That's it. Okay. And so either, so we're going to have to be real. Either the ancestors ain't got no juice, or we ain't got the proper protocol of contact. Because again, this lady reigned, the queen reigned for how long?
At least 70 years.
And she was what, 90, what? 90, she's damn near 100 years old, y'all. Reigned for 70 years.
And right, and then we act like we act like a person who lived to 100 years old. Somehow, this is a spiritual reckoning call.
Man, she's 96 years old. Man, she gonna check up out of here any day now.
The
Ain't
truth
got
is,
nothing. Man, listen.
the truth is, she lived past the expectancy.
Yes, damn near shit. The human life expectancy is probably around 67 for women. You know what I mean? So she damn near lived 20 years past the average life expectancy.
Not
listen,
20,
man.
she did.
Listen. That's right. I know this. She died and the moon was in Aquarius. Now, I know, we know, priesthood, and those that's within it, we know the special work that gets put in without revealing too much. Okay? We know this. But it's not something to play with. So it's nothing that it's not even like we always say, listen, man, boy, if it ever got to a place of Armageddon like that, then we'd be in our bag.
It
You
would,
better
it would,
turn.
it would have to be, it would have to be all of the things that we talk against people saying that it is, it would actually literally have to
Oh,
be
it had to be that. It had to be
it would have
tanks
to
in the
be that.
street. It had to be tanks in the street. Your King Alfred plan in Rex 84 is real, and it's time for you to take your black ass in a concentration camp. I'm telling you now, I'm gonna take the words of Bobby Hemmett that's behind you on that picture. You come playing with us that way, some things gonna come online. But see, it ain't never gonna happen.
I don't
I
think
I
so
I
either.
I think that's what I had to come to the realization, ladies and gentlemen. I will forever be fruit of Islam, but I will be special forces. I will always have that allegiance and that respect. But boy, you can't rile me up like that every Sunday because I'm gonna be ready to stump somebody's head and I'm real clear on who. It's called anybody that has Confederate ideology because they made it clear that they wanted you to forever be a slave. They tried to start their own nation. It's called the Confederate States of America. So I'm clear on the ideology and the flag of what they represent when it comes to white supremacy, right? But then I realized that, wait a minute, we won by the way of some allies. We ain't never going back into that. And then when you start looking out into the spiritual landscape, and yes, who was that in the chat? I think Love Moves like, wow, I didn't see. Yeah, that's Saint Benedict the Moor with his hands on top of the church. They got a black man with his hands on top of the church. And here's another quick homework assignment. Y'all open up a window, type in Saint Benedict the Moor, and do Google images, and watch y'all see little white babies looking up to this black man, and he got the halo around him. Now hold on. Are in one breath you're screaming Saint Michael is standing on a black man and that represents your black ass. But in the same culture, you have Saint Benedict the Moor holding these little white babies, and they're looking up to him like he's the Father God. And in that same culture, only thing you got to do is type in Black Madonna, and you're gonna see a list of countries, especially in Europe, because that's where they're at. Damn near every major nation in Europe, and I'm going to say every major nation in Europe, has a reference of a black Madonna, which is the black Virgin Mary and the black Jesus. And they come and pray, and you can go type up John Paul II was infamously known to be praying in front of a black Madonna, a black woman, and a black child. So they venerate you. They give you saints who put in the work. They ain't keep that on the hush hush and be like, nah, don't make that a white man. They ain't do that. They said, no, Saint Martin de Porres, you're over African Americans. Saint Benedict de Moor, you're over African Americans too. And when we coming through the hood, we're gonna put y'all right there so the black people can wake up and come into this science that we got from the Egyptians. Hello.
That's right.
That's how it goes.
That's right. That's
That's
right.
how it goes.
And use it in a way where it's productive for the individual. Because I'm gonna tell you something, man. I'm gonna tell you something. I'm glad you mentioned Farrakhan too, though. That's really what my original thought was. You mentioned the other day. See, we're quote unquote crazy enough to not only believe but know this science is real to the point where we'll practice it.
Oh yeah.
Right? We'll put it. You can't show me. I can't read a case study. This is how Ju mind work. I just read a case study, right, where it says somebody imagined touching somebody else's hand in two totally separate locations, and the EEG machine goes off on the person who's in the other location as if their hand was physically being touched. Stop.
Mm-hmm.
Wait a minute. Right? And this is nothing I know. They don't, why would they want to hide that from black people? They know y'all not even going to look to read that type of data.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's only a small percentage of people who are actually looking for that, right? So if I see that, and then like over my tenure of teaching, I got a library full of this type of data, I'm saying, oh no, we're gonna have to put this into practice, right? So we do that and we get phenomenal results back. But here's the thing. The people who have the mainstream attention, they ain't gonna never go out there on a limb publicly
And
and,
declare.
and
That's right.
declare and
Mm-hmm.
invoke that force publicly.
Yeah.
This is the best you're gonna get. Like what Farrakhan be saying, a tornado will come through, the hurricane will come through, and that's gonna be a sign of God. Well, yeah, the tornado season, tornadoes typically come through. Hurricane seasons, hurricanes typically come through, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they halfway playing on the phenomenons in nature, right? But not really giving a command,
Yeah. I declare
right?
war
To say this is what's going to happen.
tomorrow.
Thank you.
And we ain't leaving. And the UFO is showing up
Showing
to
up
show you who he is
who
right
he
now.
is.
Right
Exactly.
now.
So we don't have that, right? On the larger scale of who people look up to be their spiritual leaders. Yet a guy from Chicago, another cat from Philly get together, and we've been producing this type. Listen, I'm crazy. Listen. Noble, what the dude said on that one video, the minister is crazy.
Oh yeah. That's what they said.
That's what they call it. They said the minister's crazy.
Yeah.
So my crazy self, a couple years back, what I say, Panthers in line, sentence on commute, nigga.
Mm-hmm.
So I just said, man, we gonna test it. We gonna test it out. Let's make these placebos, Ju. And all I need is a couple observers' eyes on it,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
2 months later, that basically the whole summer, every month, it was a Black Panther being released from jail.
Yes.
When prior to the backdrop to the story was they weren't due to be out for another 20 years,
Yeah.
10 years, 15. And people were, one of them was shot, one of the cops. The family was in uproar, couldn't believe how they reversed the judgment
Mm-hmm.
and let him out.
Mm-hmm. And see what he's talking about. If he brand new, he's like, wait a minute, hold on, where you go here? See, there's something when you start studying information and you start going to certain channels. And I'm not going to promote the channel because the channel be having a bunch of fear teachers, right? They say stuff like this: predictive programming, which they're alluding to. Donald Trump was in The Simpsons and he was coming down the escalator as if he was the president. And then when Donald Trump got, said he was going to become president or won the nomination, he was coming down the elevator in Trump Tower to look just like that. And time again, it looked like The Simpsons are creating a future reality that takes place in the future, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Boondocks was on this too. A lot of people like the Boondocks with the whole KFC and didn't have no chicken.
That's right.
And people went crazy when Popeyes ran out of that new chicken sandwich that came out and stuff. And by the way, if y'all on the internet, y'all know Charleston White. And I love Charleston White because he pokes at the bear, right? Anybody that pokes at the bear, I like it. But Charleston White is Ruckus, Uncle Ruckus from the Boondocks. Got the same eye and will be promoting. Y'all scared of the white man because you are. Right? You just got to call it for what it is, right? But what we like to do and what Ju is getting at is this here. If The Simpsons is taking a celebrity and putting them inside of a cartoon, and this happened with Kobe Bryant. He was in one of them funny cartoons and he crashed in a helicopter.
Yes.
And Kobe Bryant died in a helicopter. Once you see that and you call it predictive programming, then that's so easy. The only thing you have to do is create your own imagery and look at it and enjoy it like you would regularly do a cartoon, as you've been doing. And then that just may take on a life form of itself. So now stop talking about predictive programming. In other words, let me be clear. Shut the fuck up about predictive programming and write your own fucking program, nigga.
That's
That
right.
if you ain't doing that and you keep coming back talking about the white man did this and he keep doing this COINTEL Pro and MK Ultra, boom, boom. What you don't realize is you're making people afraid because you keep putting the white man in such a position of sophistication and all this technology. Then you think that you don't have the means and capability to outdo that. Therefore, you would never do anything. You won't progress in life. I always say it. I always give y'all a classic example when you come into information, what can happen when you're a newbie. If you listen to certain shit, right? You listen to certain shit, you'll be like how Minister Ju was when he first started. He
That's
had
right.
he had a tent, and it was gonna sleep about how many people? 7, 8 people.
Listen, man.
And
Let
he
me
has
see. Let me. Let's just. We gonna make it clear tonight. I used to listen to Phil Valentine regularly,
mm-hmm,
regularly, right?
mm-hmm,
And the whole narrative about the they, what they gonna do to us, sprinkled in with some other things, right? Had me on edge,
mm-hmm,
right? The whole conversation about what was it? The preparedness. It was they had a whole movement going at one point, getting people prepared to live off the grid,
mm-hmm,
getting people prepared to have all kind of gadgets, right? Because you were going to be out in the woods
mm-hmm.
and you were going to have to do this and that and the third.
So what you go by?
Nigga, 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 nigga,
This ain't
nigga,
even funny, man, but it's
nigga.
funny.
I
But you
had walkie-talkies, nigga. Listen, nigga, they was listen, black and yellow walkie-talkies. I was showing my mama how to use them.
right, right, right.
Do you hear me? I had solar cooking pots.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
They had me going out buying silver coins.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I was buying the silver bullions,
Mm-hmm,
right?
mm-hmm.
And boy, the icing on the cake, I bought a tent that could
This now, so let's listen.
I don't know. I bought a
That's
tent.
crazy.
I bought a tent
Mm-hmm,
that could sleep 7.
mm-hmm. And at best at the time, it was just how many kids you had? One, maybe?
None. None, nigga.
That's fucked
None.
up.
None.
That's fucked up,
None.
man.
And no, right? And so I said, damn. Then, so I'm looking around, right? We talking this over 15 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
right? But these are the people, right? Who are people are looking to for guidance.
Deep, deep.
Meanwhile,
Yeah.
and see somebody listen, I don't give a fuck though. No, let me tell you,
Mm-hmm.
somebody told me this on my page because I just started my own Facebook a couple weeks back, maybe a month ago.
Right.
Somebody came over and said, Ju, this is why they don't fuck with you.
That's right.
He said, this is the prime reason that
That's
they
right.
don't fuck with you, Ju.
That's right.
Because man, I'm gonna cut it straight.
Yes.
I'm cutting it straight,
Yeah.
right?
That's
And
what
I'm not gonna have people, right, up under my tutelage focusing on that.
and let's be clear too with that, man. Right? Two things. That's fucked up because my man saw himself in a state of being homeless in the future because he has a tent and living outdoors. And what's the funny part about it is my thinking is this. Well, shit, if it ever go down to that extreme, the banks ain't getting paid and I'm going to squat in a mansion or some shit. I'm going to squat somewhere. I'm not going to be living outside, nigga, because shit is Armageddon. Ain't nobody getting paid. Well, what the fuck you mean sleep outside, right? But anyway, anyway, man, that's
Oh
crazy.
man, that ain't funny though, man.
I know, man. I know, man.
Because man, we bout results over here.
Yeah,
Period.
yeah, yeah.
So I said all the time, it's our thing is more about quality than quantity. We don't have the big numbers
Right, right,
as far as the following is concerned, but that ain't
right.
never been a goal of mine.
Right. Hey, Tony, Philip put a question. Wait a minute. Were any of you briefly associated with a group in New York City that used to meet at the Black National Theater? Yes, I did. Jew wasn't. I used to be there, right? And I quickly left and got out of there because when I figured out real quick, like, oh, these niggas ain't trying to do nothing. You know what I mean? They ain't trying to do nothing. You know what I mean? I was gone. You know what I mean? Quick, fast, in a hurry. But go ahead, bro.
Right. And so it gets to a point where, and this is what I'm saying, all the rhetoric, right? All the conjecture, all of these theories,
Mm-hmm.
right? It be sounding all deep, but at the end of the day, you judge a tree by the fruit that it bears.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the other thing. When you really become well read, and I ain't talking about in you know, some books just dealing with a bunch of philosophy about spirituality. That's cool. Hey, everybody eats his own. But see, when I figured out that consciousness was Lord,
Mm-hmm.
I stayed there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not
Mm-hmm.
coming back down here to have a
Mm-hmm.
lesser conversation
Right.
when I know that if you dealing with this, it changes whatever is happening down here.
Especially if now here's the kicker. Here's the kicker. All these people would agree to two things, which are really synonymous: vision boards in the universe.
Yes. And somebody, the game says might be useful in Mississippi though. That's a great point. Peep game. Let me show y'all how deep the rabbit hole really go. See, when you're talking like that, and not you, game, but just people who talking about survival, da 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 da. See, the law of consciousness is neutral.
Yes, like a neutron in the
It's,
cell.
it's neutral. So a perfect Bible verse to get you acquainted with what I'm gonna say is, I kill and I make alive.
Mm-hmm.
I wound and I heal.
I.
And there
Mm-hmm.
is none that can deliver out of my hand.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
Mm-hmm.
what happens is this: those people constantly repeating that narrative, right, will eventually collapse a wave,
Mm-hmm.
which will produce exactly what do you call it? What they're ruminating in their psychology. Then, when it shows up on the screen of space, called objective 3D reality, they repeat the same thing over and say, see, we told you, you should have been prepared. Not understanding that they're part and parcel creators to said event. Then they get an ego boost when it happens, and then they repeat it again because they say, look, we're right. And I say, no, look, you're creating.
Mm-hmm.
Not look, you're right. Look, you're creating.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's crazy.
So I give a prime example. I'm from the Chi, right? This was over, that was like 2017. We did Pink Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
I said, look, man. Uh, I said, look, gun violence in Chicago. Every year we hear it. Every summer we hear it. So I asked my members, I said, look, man, because I'm teaching, I'm feeling like the Christ. I ain't praying for the world. I'm praying for the ones right here in my little stable, and we're gonna work and show this God consciousness is real from right here in this little pocket. Right? But I said, do y'all want to participate in it? I had to ask us, do y'all want to put a show on? Y'all want to put a spectacle on? Y'all want to do it? They said, sure, Ju, let's do it. So you know what I had them do? I had them visualize the color pink all over the city of Chicago. I had pictures of it, sent them out to everybody. I had them go pull up news anchors, Tamron Hall being one of them at the time, right? I found the news clip where she was wearing a pink suit, and we said our prayers, we did our visualization, consuming the whole city of Chicago in pink. You may ask why pink, Ju? Because pink is a color in the psychology that subdues aggression.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? We did it for a few weeks. Couple weeks after we were done, the reports start coming out in the news. The crime has dropped in Chicago significantly. There hasn't been a shooting or a murder in the last 2 weeks. So we know the phenomenon is real. We just did it with a gas placebo.
Yes.
Where I said, okay, everybody complaining. Gas high, gas cow, okay, whatever. This is what we're going to do then. Make a little quick placebo, saying that the gas is below $4 a gallon. Ask people to jump in, make it go viral, share it, right? Other people got in on it and started making their own placebos surrounding it, making videos. It took on legs of its own. Well, and I saved all the screenshots from when the gas was high. CNN, USA Today, MSNBC.
No
Fox,
end in sight.
no end in sight.
Mm-hmm.
Gas prices soaring. Will be like this all summer. No end in sight. All of the big economic specialists, we don't see anything going. The gas is, in fact, they said it's going to go up some more.
Mm-hmm.
So in the middle of them saying it's going to go up some more, I said, no, the fuck it's not. It's going to go down some more. Yeah, the minister's crazy. Right? And put it out there, and guess what happens? All you got to do is go to your pumps.
That's right. I was there today.
Go to your pumps.
I was there today.
Go to your pumps. Go to your pumps.
That's right.
Go to your pumps. Right? So, listen, man. Listen. And then we didn't even get to the crux of the conversation, the beer.
I already know. We can, hey, listen. And see, that's the thing. Here's the thing. Let's talk about the rainbow, right? Because 2 rainbows appeared at the death of Queen Elizabeth, which is the same conversation we just had with the placebo effect of, can our thoughts create reality? See, all this, the black man is God, was today's mathematics, and black is the original man, and the black woman is God, and melanin is space, and everything exists in space, and you're the creator. Then that means, I've never heard nobody from one of them schools I just talked about, I've never heard them say thought does not create reality. I never heard them say that. In fact, their philosophy says it does. Fine. Thought creates reality. Okay, cool. Again, shut up and create. So now, when Queen Elizabeth dies, 2 rainbows appear.
Yes.
very interesting because we got to look at this here. Was this something from an external source that is sending the rainbow? Or is it the thoughts of the people who are in love and awe and support and their emotion of joy in the sense of, yo, she was a long time. We gonna love you. We gonna miss you. You know what I mean? Is the rainbow their thoughts coming back into this reality? Because here's another thing. Yeminya, Ogun, Oshun, none of that,
Shango.
none of that popped up. There was no lightning, there was no hail, there was no brimstone, there was no signs of destruction that encountered or encompassed that day.
There
It
was no
actually showed
locust.
up as a pretty rainbow, which has always been synonymous of some type of covenant or
Mhm.
joy,
Yes.
which you better understand is everything that you can see with your eyes sits within what's known as the visible spectrum of light.
Yes.
And the visible spectrum of light, ladies and gentlemen, is Roy G. Blue Violet. Okay? They call that Roy G. Biv. Everything in your reality, and I mean every single thing that you can see, exists within what we call the color visible spectrum, and that is the rainbow. Okay? Now, I'll give you a reference, and y'all can do this homework assignment. When when the Supreme Court ruled on homosexuality being allowed to be married, there was a rainbow that came over DC when that ruling happened. Go look it up. So now let's just say, since they use that flag and that's a reflection of their thoughts and their emotions, thoughts and emotions, which ain't nothing, emotion ain't nothing more than a charged thought
That's
that
it.
produces a feeling. Like, stop thinking emotion is something separate than a thought, because it's not. It's a charged thought that produces a feeling. Okay. So thoughts and emotions indeed can have a creative input into the space-time continuum, and there will be some type of refraction that comes back in this reality.
Mm-hmm.
So again, I know that wasn't Black America's and Black Africa's rainbow, because you don't have that kind of sentiment per se, right? And again, where's your ancestors at? Yeah, see, what gets me is this: the ancestors never catch an interception, bro.
Never.
They got the worst defense ever. They never get an interception. Never.
Not even a fumble, dog.
Not, man, listen. They get shut out. They ain't even putting nothing on the clock. I'm not even seeing nothing on the scoreboard. Because, and I'm gonna tell you why. And this ain't no disrespect, but it just is what it is. Two things. And I'm just gonna really say one thing. You don't know how to do it.
That's it.
You don't know how to do it. And I'm gonna when we go to Stone Mountain, and y'all seen this before, when myself, Minister Ju, when we go to Stone Mountain, I can guarantee you this: the Confederate flag is gonna come up missing, or the news is going to report all of a sudden that there is a petition in from either a citizen or a political body, the NAACP in this particular instance, put in a petition to remove the Confederate icons off the side of Stone Mountain when we go to the mountain. That's what happens. There is always a reverberation back that smacks and stabs and jabs at the Confederate ancestral lineage.
Yes.
But see, that's our energy when we go. That's what we be on. That's what we do. Like, we spiritual hitmen. I just got to tell you that. Like, that's nothing to do that. We do that very, very well.
In
But we
scripture,
don't play with that
in
though.
scripture, they call it the two witnesses.
Yeah. Yeah, they're very clear about it. And it was 7-11, Starry Skies. It was 7-11, 2015 that we actually go put that work in. And you will see about 2 days prior to that, 7-11, then probably 7-10, the day before that, you will see that was a Friday of 2015. That Confederate flag came up missing, and we was already down on them. Because remember, when we do flyers, and I'll show you, I'll screen share and show you. See, when we do flyers, I put the KKK on Stone Mountain, and we put a target on them, and we call it 7-11 stump off. You understand what I'm saying? See, I'm gonna tell you something. The world in the police department, especially the Justice Department, that was created by OG Ulysses S. Grant, the general of the motherfucking Union Army, who became your president after Andrew Johnson, who came after Lincoln and won 2 terms. It's on the $50 bill. That cat right there created the Department of Justice. Did you know that? That dude right there, listen, they don't care about, and they know because they got our back. See, that's what you got to understand. This whole thing was, man, did y'all know? I'm going to give y'all some game, and I'm going to put it all in the documentary. Look this up. The Tax Revenue Department, now known as the IRS, its first director was a gentleman by the name of George Boutwell. George Boutwell, Abraham Lincoln appointed him. Abraham Lincoln is the one who created the Revenue Department because we needed revenue to fight the war, right? Go look at Mr. George Boutwell's stance, and I'm going to tell you, and y'all can go Google it and look it up. He said that Florida and South Carolina should actually go to the black folks, the Negro. Those should be our home states, and those should be our own territories right there. The first director of the IR to the S said that. So I know the history and know the foundational principles in which these agencies are standing upon to tell you this, because they understand the emotional temperament of today. When George Zimmerman got shot, it's because a request was put in. And I'll just leave it at that. And can show you a request was put in. And mind you, I'm not talking about a request from the dude that did it. That was an external random event. I'm just talking about, do y'all know at Michael Brown's death,
His vigil spot.
his visual spot, there was a cement tombstone in the middle of his vigil. And what did it say, Jew?
Star Power Prayers.
Right.
And on the side of the sidewalk, it said, I am.
Yes. At Mike Brown's visual location, there was a tombstone that had graffiti on it that said Star Power Prayers.
And I am.
Now, see, ladies and gentlemen, we call that galactic activation. See, when you know how to create, and we'll go back to the rainbow, I'll give it to Jew. When you know how to create, you know what we said? We don't do this for like to create mischief in people's lives. Don't come messing with the children of God, and that is the union. Man, y'all may not want to accept that. That's fine, but I know what it is. That is the union. Don't come bothering the union, and until then, we will be working on prosperity, getting people better health conditions, improving people's lives. I pay over 40 something families through real estate in our private membership. They say, yo, bro, I got to do something with you. Let's do it. I just don't advertise it. Every month I'm cutting checks, sending Zelles and Cash Apps. Every single month, over 40 families out here getting paid.
That's a fact.
Go ahead, bro. Rainbow.
And then, oh yeah, the rainbow. So we always say it, man. Light is intelligent. So why would a double rainbow appear in a place where, according to a large portion of people who look like us, say that it's a reset happening or something other than tragedy, right? Here's the thing, and I stated this earlier. Light is neutral. It's neutral. It's whoever's commanding it. Right? It's whoever's commanding it. And so we have to get out of this thing of really playing defense, but act like we playing offense when something happens of this nature. It's just not what it is. So what we have to do, if we're going to do it at all, is like, where is our departments or they got all these different sects that's wearing these patches with the Michael and the Satan piece, right? They get these things out to people who actually put in some type of physical work, who oversaw something, who completed a task, who da. Right? The police department too. Their spiritual emblem is Saint Michael. Right? So we have to start asking ourselves, all right, when are we going to participate in the tug of war with light? When? When do we step into that arena? But see, here's the other problem too. A lot of people are under the presumption that, oh man, spirituality is fake. Spirituality ain't real. That's some, what they call it,
pseudo.
Yeah, it's pseudo. But I say this. And I ain't trying to be cocky. I'm just stating what I consider to be facts. There's not a duo or a singular person over the last 10 years who has more receipts showing that the mind has created a phenomenon in any community. I don't care if it's conscious community, Irish community. Let me tell you, the only person that I can feel as not even competition, but just somebody who is Dr.
Joe was the only one.
Joe is the only one. Outside of that, though, it's not even close.
For sure.
Right? So we know that it's real. And so, I don't know what we got to do, man. I guess we just gonna keep doing what we're doing. But essentially, what I'm saying is, there's no organization, man.
Yeah, there's no call to Voltron. Hold on.
There's no organization, man.
Yeah, there's no call to Voltron.
Everybody got their egos all over the place, right? Right? Instead of saying, hey, that person does that the best.
Yeah.
Right? Or that person does that the best.
Yeah.
We're gonna make sure we put this person here or these people here because they can facilitate this task the best.
That's right. Man, I've always said it, man. It's funny. I got an email today. The cat was telling me how, he knows somebody that was born with HIV/AIDS and they want to get on the herbal thing. In my opinion, I think the herbal thing is Yaqui. I don't even know Yaqui. But I know Yaqui. You know what I mean? I'm like, nah, you better go over there because his receipts is crazy.
It's crazy.
His receipts is crazy. Go over there, if you on the herbal game. You know what I'm saying? And Love Moves, I see you in the chat. You know, said, "Oh man, please don't be slick hating on the people of the community who went to Stone Mountain today. That was beautiful." I'm not aware of anybody going today, and that's just me. I don't see a lot of stuff, right? And even if I did, that's not. It ain't about that. I'm simply showing you or telling you what our temperament is when we decide to go. When we decide to go. Listen, you want to go and do whatever you're gonna do what you do. I know a brother's going up there, prior to this and whatnot, and doing some breath work, and that's beautiful. Because see, when I'm not here, when I'm at my spot, you will see me on with shit. I got over 30 plants in the house. I got
Right.
flowers. I'm really in a whole nother zone. But when y'all want to have this kind of conversation right here, I don't mind gearing up and having this conversation and just saying, listen, this is how you bust some ass if you really want to bust some ass and put some thought practice to doing that. And we can talk about it and do
Right.
that.
If you really
But
mad
but
at,
yeah, but
if you really mad at the colonizer,
yeah, if you're mad at the colonizer, we can bust that ass. There ain't no problem. We beat them physically, and I will show you how we came back, and we can definitely deal with that ass, on a whole nother plane. Right. So that's when we go. But outside of this, yo, I'm more on some man. Listen. I'm spending time with flowers and in constant communion with smiles on my face, and I'm like I'm on some whole other stuff. I don't even really want to get into this kind of stuff because I know it ain't time for that. And that's what I was gonna say earlier. The reason that we really had this conversation with y'all is because we don't want y'all to go down the rabbit hole where you get indoctrinated with fear, and next thing you know, you're going to buy you a tent and solar cooking pots because that is a possibility. And what happens is, again, you won't even have the desire to benefit yourself and your family. And the truth of the matter is, when you look out into the landscape at everybody else who ain't into this kind of black talk type of stuff, there's a lot of successful people out here in the world, a whole lot of them who have totally changed the dynamic of their entire bloodline financially. You know what I'm saying? That is just you're kicking ass because you're in the most expansive golden bull market age that you have ever been in prior to corona coming in. You're really still in it because the real estate prices is still up, right? And
they are.
so you're in a golden age of prosperity, and the Aquarian age promises you that you're also in a golden age of enlightenment, and this is the age of the people. So this is not the age of tyranny and suppression and oppression. That's not what this is about. This is the age of freedom. And you're in that age right now, and you have those. So the only thing you have to do is understand that that shit is the old order. It was there. Yeah, there's some remnants of it, but that is not the status quo. You are free. So please govern yourself accordingly.
and two, to add to that, see, it's $1 million industry to be a victim. Like everybody wants to be. Look what they're doing to me. Look what they're doing to me. Right. The thing is this though. See, this is where you have to understand how literally the brain works. Right. The more you take that in, right, the more you process that type of language, right, your life is going to start to mirror exactly the message that you're downloading. And so it will be a truth for you. It will be.
Uh-huh.
You'll find yourself where you're in a very oppressed situation. You'll find yourself where you're in a very depressed situation.
Uh-huh.
So your life will become a spitting image of the narrative that you are downloading. You see? So it's always been a thin line between what you're choosing to observe, what you're choosing to allow your senses to engage in, you
Uh-huh.
know. So the minute somebody else comes and tries to tell you, no, it doesn't have to be that way for you. You can go this way, right? that becomes challenging because every cell in your body is like, no, you're a victim, remember?
Mm-hmm.
Right? You're no, you're not that, you're this. I had somebody tell me before that I'm in the boule,
Yeah. Hey, brother, can I ask you a question, man? You in the boule?
right? Right? And so that's what happens. Just look at how extreme the mind starts to wander when a different message is being presented to you. That look, no, you don't have to be a victim. You don't have to walk around with walkie talkies.
Yo,
You don't have to do this,
man.
this, that, and the third. You know what I mean? And so, man, you know,
Man.
that's my message. Like, and listen, man, my members here in the chat, they'll tell you. We had some testimonials today. We had class today.
Winning.
Some winning, honey. Man, Ju, money matter technique. I landed a 6-figure job. He making over 100K a year now.
Winning.
Another person, magnetic auras. Yeah. Talking to y'all who think, oh, that's some pseudo stuff. No. You better go study some Yale professors and some Pennsylvania University professors from back in the 1930s and 40s who were getting funded by their collegiate universities to run tests to see what was surrounding the human being and other living organisms. So what some people call chi, what some people call auras, what some people all these different names for it. What they talking about is the human magnetic field, the electromagnetic field around you. And boy, oh boy, wait till you go down that rabbit hole and see what you come out with. But I said all that to say one of the members was at the presentation a couple weeks back. She picked up the tools and started envisioning certain things falling into her aura, and she's been up the last couple weeks.
All the way up.
So man.
Yeah. Yeah,
Look,
no. Hey, man. I'm about to make a new video on y'all soon. I'm buying another house this week. Hey, while y'all over there thinking y'all gonna be homeless and get your tents and disaster preparedness ready, and listen, and there's nothing wrong with having, things can happen. I don't want to be naive and say things can't happen, but all I'm gonna say for real, I swear to God, that King Alfred plan and all that kind of stuff, Rex 84, man, like that was like, you know, that was a very, 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 very long time ago before I was born, and I'm about to be 46, I think. Like, come on, man. Like, see, that's what I'm saying. At what point do you realize, like, yo, why am I focused so much on that? Man, listen, man. See, when it come down to that, it's just either life or death. You come into like, is it really gonna get to the point? Remember the thing with the sovereignty and the birth and the birth certificate, Jew, and your social security card, and you look on the back of your social security card, it's gonna start with it's gonna start with a letter. And that letter corresponds to one of the 12 districts of the Federal Reserve, and that Federal Reserve Bank got a bond on you. I'm not saying that's not true. It makes sense because this is commerce. Cool. But if you telling me that China gonna one day roll over here and say, hey, your baby got a birth certificate, you got a social security card, I need you to come with me, it's gonna either be life or death at that particular point right there, homie.
That's
And
right.
so until then, it shall be about the progression and the prosperity. And it don't mean that you can't have some basic common sense things because sometimes things happen. You understand what I'm saying? The lights go out and things of that nature. Just even dealing with temperature, especially if you're in Cali, you get too hot, the grid go off, and yeah, you just need certain things. Ain't nothing wrong with learning how to survive, but to put yourself in a predominant state of that, and then to pass that on, to the children as a main template, you know what I mean, is potentially very, very damaging. Very damaging. You know what I mean? And we had to realize that and say, bro, we gonna get to it. You know what I
And
mean?
and that type of rhetoric shortens the telomeres.
Yeah, it kills your brain.
Yeah. Like you listen, you
Yeah,
go study your telomeres in socioeconomics.
yeah,
And
yeah,
then you tell me what the reverse engineering of that looks like when somebody telling you to go buy a tent, to live in a tent.
yeah. Game said, give some tips on how y'all manifest. Here's the beauty about this place down here, bro. All is mental. The only thing that you have to do is stay consistent with your vision,
That's it.
especially if you can get yourself to just simply go to the end result of it and get into the feeling of it and do field trips. Oh, you want the new car? Go test drive the motherfucker every Saturday and act like it's yours. Take pictures in front of that motherfucker.
Go
With it,
get
go
the
get
key
in it.
ring.
Get the key ring. Get the motherfucking Mercedes Benz hat and everything. Right? It's to stay consistent with your vision. There is no wrong way to pray. I was showing them that last night when we had class dealing with Saint Benedict. When you look at different translations in the Bible, right? When you do the Lord's Prayer and that part that be like, "Give us this day our daily bread and forgive us for our trespasses." Some Bibles, like the Catholic Bible, will be like, "Forgive us of our
Debts.
forgive us of our debts as we forgive our debtors." We don't say trespasses, we say debt. And that's a totally different meaning from the psychology of the English man. For me, I know for sure. I wouldn't have never thought trespass me, goddamn debt. Trespass me, you want my property, get off. Are you bothering me? Stop. You know what I mean? Not money. You know what I'm saying? Trespasses have absolutely, in the English vernacular, has absolutely nothing to do with debt, right? But see, when they wrote those books, whether it be in the Greek or Hebrew, trespass and debt are the same word. So therefore, you pick which one you want to use. Well, I'm going to use trespasses. The other one's like, no, fuck that. I'm using debts. You know what I'm saying? Give us this bread. That's money, homie. Give my bread, right? And
Mhm.
then next thing you know, it's followed up by debt, right? And so stay consistent in whatever you do. That's it. That is the core of the thing, bro. Stay consistent at what you do. Now, there's some other things you can do that got a little, for me, yeah, yeah, I'm a cosmic dude, right? Like I showed my people last night. Listen, man, what Jupiter is in the sky right now, it's actually right there, literally. And the moon was there last night. I was born with Venus right there. This is a 12-year alignment where it takes Jupiter 12 years to get into place to anything where it was. To go with one full cycle, it takes Jupiter 12 years. So Jupiter being right here where my Venus was represents a prosperous time. Well, shit, nigga, what 23? I got a 6-digit check hitting my account. That's
Hey,
me though. You see what I'm saying? But I'm jamming. I made sure I put myself and start building a portfolio of things up so I can reap the benefits of this thing that can handle that. Not that it wouldn't manifest no other way. It's so lucky because Jupiter energy represent luck. It's so lucky, bro. There was a scratch off ticket by my truck in the parking lot today. Well, a couple days ago, rather,
mhm,
in front of the incubator. They
mhm,
already scratched it off, but it was one of those green ones with the clover on it, talking about lucky 7 or something like that. And I know what it's telling me, like, yeah, nigga, this your time. And I
mhm,
already know it's my time. Because
mhm.
again, like I said, I got 6-digit figures coming into my bank account. You know
Hey,
what I'm saying? And
hey,
so, it's when you know that, now I can, me personally, it's like a satellite. My mind is a satellite, and I can zoom in, like, oh yeah, right there. There it is. That space right there. Oh, there go the body right there. Bam. Give me my heavenly bread.
hey, hey. The book of Timothy tells us
Shit, boy.
to
Stop playing.
take Xanus and
Mm-hmm.
Apollo.
Mm-hmm.
But when you translate it, Xanus translates to Jupiter.
Mm-hmm.
So what were they really saying? What you mean take Jupiter? Take you say take what do you mean take Jupiter along its track? Right? So
Right.
he giving y'all some cosmic tips on how to make these things align, man. You know,
Yeah.
but he like he said, man, it come down to consistency. That's it. Consistency. And whatever your vision is. Like they say, people where there is no vision, the people will perish.
Mm.
And the other one is
Make it plain. on
Yeah,
tablets.
make it plain on tablets. Write it
Yes.
plain on tablets. And
Yeah.
there's another one that I was thinking about today, where it talks about how the days are evil, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was pondering that, man, and I'm thinking about time because we give up, we don't invest enough time in it,
Mm-hmm.
and so or like the parable of the persistent widow,
Mm.
right? Or the one where the guy kept getting up, knocking on his neighbor's door at midnight for some bread, and he just kept coming back, kept coming back, kept coming back. And finally, the neighbor was like, you know what, man? I'm gonna give him this damn bread because I'm tired of him waking up my household.
Right.
So, man, it's all through the scripture, man. The scripture ain't nothing but a book that's showing you how to manifest, man. Really,
Mm-hmm.
it's a mental book. It's all mental,
Mm-hmm.
And people's, I'm really ain't baffled, but people still holding on to it as a the people who holding on to it as a literary work is baffling. That's just as baffling to the people to me, who are arguing that it's not literal history. And I keep saying to myself, like, do y'all really think some people wrote these things 2, 3 thousand years ago to play with y'all minds in 2023?
Right.
It had to be something else going on here,
Right.
you know.
Right.
But yeah, man.
Right. 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 If y'all got some quick questions, man, go ahead and put them in the chat. Um, yeah, put them in the chat. This shift Queen to Richard. Listen, man, I'm not, in my opinion, this is my opinion on the physical landscape of reality, which has to be a reflection of the invisible plane. Ain't shit gonna change.
No.
Ain't nothing gonna change. Nothing is going to change. Now, I would really like to say this though, um, because for some reason, I believe and felt like y'all had more joy at the death of Kevin Samuels than this right here. And I'm not saying you're supposed to have more joy for the Queen and Kevin. I'm not saying that. Because what I'm really about to get at is this. See, once you figure out what this is about, and I'm mad I didn't do the due diligence because I got a little tied up today. I had a delivery out of town at one of the rental properties. But it was a show either on Amazon or it was on Netflix. And I gotta get it. It's like some type of show that was outlining reincarnation or life after death type of thing, something like that. And if I'm ringing the bell to y'all, please drop it in the chat. But there was a little kid, I want to say in Oklahoma, and he said, and the mom was driving the kid, and the kid was in the back seat, and he said, "Yeah, mommy, I miss going to the park with my mommy with the pretty hair." And she was like, "Oh, I'm thinking, oh, do you mean me, baby? No, mommy, my mommy with the pretty hair. And my babysitter killed me. And well, what was your name?" And the little boy said the name. And so when mommy gets home, she gets on Google and look up the little boy name and end up finding the little boy all the way in New York. Some years ago, he got killed by a babysitter. Okay. Or it was a babysitter or a family member, one of the two. And the kid in New York that actually got killed was black. But the kid that's having the experience now is white.
Uh-uh.
Listen to me when I tell you this.
Uh-uh.
What was the author name? Because he hit it dead on the head. I think he was from Pittsburgh. What's that author name, Ju?
Which one?
Nature Knows No Color. What was that dude name that wrote that book? Nature Knows
W. Boys.
No
It was a Nature
Color.
Knows No Color line.
That's right.
That was
That's right.
it's right on tip of my tongue.
Man, that's right.
Um,
I had to Google him. But Nature Knows No Color line, man. This thing that deals with light, which is you, the human being, because without your heartbeat, you out of here. You cannot fall for the 52 fake out of duality of this black and white game. The core of this thing, for me, looking at this is
J.A. Rogers.
that's right, J.A. Rogers. Sure was. J.A. Rogers. We have to learn. And I'm just going to give you, I'm not saying this literally. I'm going to give it to you in a figurative symbol that was used. You don't have to go through this particular school to get it, but you have to learn the sacred heart of Jesus. I know this is going to make you mad, Africans. I know. But I said you don't have to go through that particular school. The purpose is, or go the Buddha way. I don't care. Love and compassion. You're going to have to learn that because that's going to free you up and elevate you. I was talking to Ruby and was talking about like this black consciousness and shit. It's like, especially as a woman, I don't want to be angry all the time. No. Right? You angry all the time coming to these meetings, and then most of the time back in my day it was nothing but dudes speaking any damn way, and I don't really get down with all that, like all this masculine shit. You know what I mean? Like, nah, I'm cool. And like, listen, man, there is a vast world out here that we can tap into that is critical to the evolution of your soul. And we see if we got any questions. Or you can take it from here, Ju. But again, I'm gonna say it again. This is documented. The little boy is a white little boy who has a working, clear memory of when he was a black kid in a previous incarnation. And since you're light, and you are indeed that, in your consciousness, you are indeed that. You come in this body, you're going to leave this body. I tell your dumb ass and my dumb ass all the time, when we go to sleep tonight, my dumb ass and your dumb ass don't even know what we going to dream about. We don't. So you don't even know the experience you about to have when you go night night, nigga. When you go night night, you don't even know the experience you are about to have in the dream world. So don't tell me or yourself what you think you know about reality, because we don't know. But what we do know is this: there's a proven system that pretty much in all these religious or mystery schools of thought that tell you you're going to have to stop. And you got this in Genesis 1, the very first thing. You're going to have to stop being Cain and learn how to be the other aspect and get into love, God's approval, in the sense of doing the divine work within yourself. You're going to have to learn that. You're going to have to. Trust me when I tell you that. You're going to have surviving death. Thank you, boo. There go my baby right there. Right. So, man, that's my boo right there. And so, like, seriously, it's called Surviving Death on Netflix. Look into it. Look into it. Surviving Death on Netflix. And you tell me what this whole thing is about. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, man. Jay May asked the question, what is the role of the decisions we make in terms of greater manifestation? Well, with every decision that you make, you're forwarding yourself to whatever outcomes that you generated from that decision. So just in today's class, we were talking about one of these quantum physics studies that say how the future affects the past, right? I know that sounds kind of crazy, right? How the future affects the past, but they've determined this. Mm-hmm. And how we talked about it today was, if in the present moment that we're in, right, the past to us is what just happened an hour ago or 2 hours ago when this presentation just started, right? I said, but the future, what is going to be the past to the future? The past to the future is always the present moment that we're in right now. Mm-hmm. Right? So whatever you're thinking and feeling right now, right? The decisions that you're making right now is weaving the reality for you, constantly consolidating that reality for you that you're walking into, right? So you don't really wake up a free agent. Your tomorrow is going to be predicated upon the decisions that you made the day before,
Mm-hmm.
and the day before that, and the day before that. So whatever you're trying to create or manifest, right? Every decision that you make has to be in alignment with that greater vision that you call your future.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
it's very important, the decisions that you make right now.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's in the courtroom. It's called. What do they do? But no, we go in there and say, "Oh man, what is his priors?"
Mm-hmm.
Your priors is going to determine what your future sentence is going to be.
Yeah, the guidelines.
That's
That's
right.
right.
That's right.
Absolutely. And listen, there's a study with the future affecting the past. It's called a study in retroactive prayer. Look into it. A study in retroactive prayer done by a doctor by the name of Leonard Biovici. Okay. And I'm going to paraphrase it, where he had a group of 3,000 patients. It's actually, I think, 3,330, but 3,000 patients. And within this group of patients, let's say they was going to get prayed for from 1980 to 1990. It was going to be an ultimate 10-year span. Obviously, if somebody came in at 85, they was going to get prayed for 5 years. You know what I'm saying? Because the prayer is not going to take place until 1990.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And now these group of people in 1980, 81, 82, 83, 84, all the way to 89, we know that this group of people is going to get prayed for and these other group of people are not going to get prayed for. Okay. Just picking them. Okay. But they're going to get prayed for in the future in the year 1990. It's now 1980. Okay. And we're going to measure this by three little guidelines. How fast they recovered, how fast they went home, and their mortality rate, who died the most. Okay. The group who would be prayed for, hear me out, is 1980 in the beginning, or it's the last year of 1989, or it's the middle year of 1985. The prayer ain't gonna happen until 90. The people who were going to get prayed for in 1990 went home faster, had a slightly lower death rate, okay, and had a faster recovery rate than the people who did not get prayed for in a future time. Look it up. A
Yes.
study in retroactive prayer.
Yes.
So the future affects the past.
Yes. Yes. Somebody asked another question in here. What is a good way to stay positive? I give you something relatively new that I came across. So we mentioned the aura, aka the human magnetic field, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what these professors at Yale and these other universities discovered was that this field, right? Um, and I'm quoting this. It says this electromagnetic field has the ability to bypass chemistry and physics. Do you hear me?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right? And so when I read that, I said, "Oh no, wait a minute, Ju. Wait. This sounds like some quantum stuff going on here, right?"
Mm-hmm.
So then I said, "Okay." I found a chart that showed how matter of fact, that's the better word, where emotions register in the body.
Mm-hmm.
So we took it out of the head and found where happiness, gratitude, success, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't just those emotions. It was anger, frustration. I got a whole chart. It's probably like 70 different places where these emotions are literally registering physically in the body,
Right.
right? So, how can we learn to reverse engineer and use this science to keep us in a perpetual good mood?
Yeah.
Well,
So
if we know where the emotions are registering when we do have the good moods, right? They're showing up on scanners. There's literally a field that is being projected and registered on machines, right? Then that means what happens when I start to visualize regularly this energy permeating and regulating through this region of my body now that I'm in the know, right? That this is where this emotion likes to register itself,
mm-hmm.
right? So Noble just mentioned the heart. When you start to look at those, the happy feelings, laughter was in the gut, right? But like success, happiness, gratitude, you know the picture, Noble, where the Christ has got the joint open and the heart is radiating out that,
The Sacred Heart. That's right.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Most of these emotions that how do we stay positive and feel good are being registered right here,
Mm-hmm.
right here.
Mm-hmm.
So now, how about you take that and you start to visualize light steady emerging from the heart? And you think that picture with the Christ with the light coming from the heart is just, you think that's just some, oh no, 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 no,
Mm-hmm.
no. It's detectable, registered science that shows this,
Yeah. We got a whole institution called Heart Math that literally documents this.
right?
Literally.
So see golden light circling your heart. Start to tell your heart, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I remember Noble a couple years back. We just a real simple technique. People was going through pains. I said,
Mm-hmm.
look, man, find out what the heart do, find out what the lungs do,
Mm-hmm.
and start saying thank you for the specific job that it is functioning.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it ain't hard, man. You just you once you know the science, you
Yeah.
start to learn how to appropriate these things to get some feedback.
Yeah.
But you got to experiment. It's no other way.
Yeah. And create an environment too, right? So
Yeah.
I was showing a picture, right? Like I don't know if y'all you probably can't see that, but like
We see it. We can see it.
like that's my spot right there, right? And so again, it'd be over 30 something plants in that one particular room in that living room. And I make sure I keep these babies right here. Like I love these right here. Right. And I surround myself with flowers and plants because I have to take care of them, and I'm understanding their language, right? How you gonna be mad when you got flowers and roses? Like that don't make sense. They don't go together. It's like kind of that's your pink therapy in real life. You
Yes.
know what I'm saying? How you gonna be mad when you got constantly got nothing but divinity around you, whether it be Buddha here, whether it's the Virgin Mary or whatever it may be, plants. Change your environment, make your physical environment a reflection of your highest self. And if you can't do the whole environment, then you have to dedicate a spiritual space within your space to be able to step into your own little dojo. And then, of course, there's the foods like somebody dropped in there as well. But the self talk, right? So, in Islam, we call them rosary. I mean, zikr beads. I got rosaries on right now. I got other rosaries and whatnot. Like this rosary right here actually got a little red rose on it, and then it's amethyst, right? And so the rosary is a reminder that I gotta pray. So each bead I gotta say this prayer. It may be 104 beads on here. So what? I gotta pray 104 times, and it's to serve as a reminder
Mm-mm.
that when see, listen, man, I tell my people this. I got one of my, for lack of a better word, I'll say student in a sense. Um, you know, she getting started on her journey and she got the miraculous medal on. I said, listen, here's a homework assignment. Yeah, so y'all, I'm gonna have to open this up to the public. Y'all gonna have to get into my night with the saints. I do it every month, right? But there's a lady by the name of Catherine Labor. Okay, the Virgin Mary appeared to her in the form of what you would call an apparition. Okay, and was standing on this image of a, standing on a globe and whatnot, and gave her this thing, this, make this into a medal. So it's known as the miraculous medal. Okay. So I tell her, if you feel yourself about to go into a fight with your ex, take it off. Being now what you're doing is you are consciously watching yourself watch yourself. And that's called metacognition. That is very important. You are aware of yourself being aware of yourself. Okay. And so now what you're doing before you about to go there, because you used to going there, you have to now take this off before you go there. But now you just interrupted the process and slowed it down from going there. But then you'll get to a point where you realize, like, hold on, I'm not about to take off my armor to deal with this. I'm just not even about to engage it, because it ain't like it's in my face physically. It's just over the phone. It may be a text message, right? So you know what? I ain't even got to take my light off to do that. So now what are you doing? You're stopping the response mechanism. So sometimes you have to adorn yourself and put yourself in certain things of the light to serve as a reminder of what you want. Now, I'll say this. No, I'm not saying it because when I get here, like this ain't Christ. This is a sword. This is actually known as the warrior's rosary. Like, this is the one with Michael on it. This is the one, like, hey, let's go kick some ass. Okay, cool. That happens in this reality. I don't know the last time y'all checked, but I think people die, little kids die in volcanoes, and this God of ours is you make it make sense. You know what I'm saying? There's natural processes down here that burn. Okay, it hurt. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes you may have to get in that mode, but if you don't desire to be there, because I know this, I'm not gonna raise my hand and say, hey, I want to be funky and mad tomorrow and I want to fight somebody tomorrow. It's going down, right? I remember me and my people was going back and forth, right? Well, but we weren't really going back and forth, but it was a little something. So misunderstanding. And I was like, give me a kiss. Right. See, that's how I am. Like, I don't want to hold on to that. Right. Like, give me a kiss. Nope, I ain't kissing you. Oh, you're not choosing love. So my point in saying all this is play a game with yourself. And this is very serious. For me, peace is my number one priority. And I'm not bullshitting you. It is absolutely my number one priority. I promised myself, I had my last blow up couple months like back, maybe in April or March. I got into it with, but I had to let one of my people have it. One of those where people, I was out in public too, and they was looking at me. I had to let them have it. And I said, that'll never happen again, because I'm choosing to master myself. So I'm never going to allow that to happen again. So play a game with yourself to be better. If it comes up and you're being negative, make yourself smile and go pull up something. Find out what your happiest moment was in life, that one of your most favorite joyful moments was, and then go look at that and recall that feeling so you can cut into that negative pruning of those nerve cells in your brain. You know what I mean? That's trying to come together. That's trying to get you to remember
Them
that old stuff,
synapses.
man. You
So
know.
so that's great, Noble. Somebody else in here asked a question. How can I use my drawings as a manifestation technique? I'm an artist. Please help, guys. So look, I remember I came across a piece where this lady was an artist, right? She was a painter, and she painted a picture of what she considered to be her future husband, right? 2 months later, she meets this guy who looks exactly like the guy she painted on the picture. She hid this from him for months.
Mm-hmm.
They end up getting married the whole nine, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then she showed it to him, and he was like, "This is weird." Like he had the same haircut,
Mm-hmm.
same kind of shirt she first met him with. Everything was exactly a replica.
Got him. Yeah.
Got him.
Mm-hmm.
Now, see, in the Bible, it's a verse up there in Genesis that tells you about photoshopping.
Mm-hmm.
You think photoshopping is a 21st century invention? No, no. No. Jacob came through and done some hell of a photoshopping,
Yeah.
right? So so take so what is it that you want? Use your paintbrush as an extension of your vision, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hang it up where you can see it. You see,
Mm-hmm.
this is what I did. This is my Mount Rushmore of mind science, right? So you got to take your ideas and put it on your canvas, right? And then make sure you hang it up somewhere where you're gonna see it every day, and you watch what happens. And don't be shocked when it happens, because it will happen.
Oh man, it's gonna happen like
It's
a
gonna
mug.
happen. Or it's just like the lady who wanted to meet Michael B. Jordan, and she photoshopped herself on a picture with him, right? And then a few weeks later, she's standing up there, hugged up with Michael B. Jordan. She's like, "This is my greatest accomplishment ever."
Mm-hmm. Check. Kanye did it with Kim.
Would
He
you tell
yeah.
him, Noble?
He drew to the best of his ability himself hugging Kim Kardashian at the Christmas photo the previous year. You know what I'm saying? Drew himself in the picture.
And it came out in the wash. He used to do that on all the holidays.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now you may look at it now and say, "Well, look how it turned out," but he still manifested
Yeah, what he wanted.
what he wanted,
That's right.
right? And so, and this is the thing: as you continue to move and groove, your mindset going to change about different things, and then you're going to create the reality moving forward from that position. It's a never. Let me tell you something. They had it right with that movie. It's a never ending story.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Mm-hmm.
this narrative is going to go on and on and on and on and on.
Mm-hmm.
You know. But yeah, man. Listen, man. If y'all look, like somebody said, man, y'all dropping Jews. Man, this all we do. We like this. Look, it's it's really second nature. You know what I mean? Just because, man, we've been living this way for so long, Noble.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? We've been teaching this for so long. It's not even it's like the back of the hand now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So but look, we have services, man, that we offer. We got networks, memberships, man. If anybody really serious, like really, you know what I mean? Um, we teaching this stuff regularly. Every month I'm up 4 times a month. Webinars, conference calls, guided visualizations, one-on-ones with members, uh, praying for members. Like just today,
Yeah.
one of the members 13 days ago, father had a wound in his foot, severely infected. Doctors come out, maybe some amputation,
Mm-hmm.
right? I said, all right, Jew, because I had made something maybe about a month ago now where I was going to introduce this prayer request joint to the public, right? So as soon as that came online, multiple people started to come at me like, Jew, could you please pray for me? I said, okay, all right.
Mm-hmm.
And then my
Mm-hmm.
partner Noble, he going hard in the paint, right? And he had a similar idea, and then I had to reveal it to him. I'm like, no, man, I've been thinking about this for a couple of weeks. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But long story short, get a text message early this morning. Man, Jude, thank you. My father's wound is significantly smaller. The doctors ain't talking about doing no more amputation. In fact, they saying he can put on regular shoes now.
Mm-hmm.
This all from understanding the way, because see, let me tell you something. Scripture flat out tell you God is light. I can't read that and not. Oh, what you mean?
Right. Right.
What you mean God is light? So all right, let me find out what light likes.
Mm-hmm.
How do you excite light?
And what colors get rid of inflammation and what colors promote growth?
Yes,
You know what I
yes,
mean? So stuff like that you gotta really, really, really
that
know
you gotta
about
know.
light.
Listen,
Yeah.
we had a remember Nikki Builder, her daughter
Mm-hmm.
had eczema.
Mm-hmm.
Doctors gave her all kind of cream for the rash for years. So now, Nikki, what we're gonna do? We're gonna put this color over the rash. She came back, Judy. This is insane. It's gone and it ain't came back.
Mm-hmm.
Or Asia with her
Mm-hmm.
daughter. We gave her a shape, an octagon shape, and told her to
Mm-hmm.
visualize her sleeping on the color purple.
Mm-hmm.
Man, in 2019, we had a whole class for the
Man.
whole summer called color therapy,
Yeah.
where we were putting people in different domes. Cause see, here, let me listen. If you in this visible spectrum of light, you're not supposed to be part and parcel to or having a objecting viewpoint, excuse me, from any color,
Yeah, buddy. You can't do that.
from any color,
Can't do
right?
that.
And so when I came across that information, I said, well, damn, right? And then I would ask the people in the class, they would say, well, Ju, I don't like the color red, or Ju, I don't
Mm-hmm.
like the color blue, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then as we
Mm-hmm.
got down to the nitty gritty, you know why they didn't like these colors? It was associated with a previous circumstance where something traumatized them. Prime example, they remember their father walking out on their mother, and their mother had on a red shirt.
Right. That's right.
So they disassociated in their psychology the color red because of an incident where that color was front and center to an engram or a memory that caused them pain or discomfort.
Man. That's deep, man. That's deep, bro. That's deep. That's deep. That's deep.
And so, you
That's
know what
deep.
I did, Noble? I said, nope, we're going to face our fears. I'm putting you in the red Superdome.
That's right. That's deep. That's deep. Cause see, you remember you say you the original black, and light comes from the darkness. You cannot be part and parcel with none of it because it is all you. And the Nation of Islam flat out told you that you are the original man, and then this one big head black ass scientist named Yakub started playing with this brown germ and the black germ and start grafting it, and then next thing you know, a white man got here. So I'm still looking at myself at the end of the day, if that's what you want to say, what happened, you know what I'm saying? And so it is all you, man. But that's dope, man. Because see that trigger. I was watching this show. It's another one on Netflix that got something to do with sex and love and trauma in a sense. And I was watching it. There was a black couple on there, and everybody else was white. But um, the lady, man, the wife to be. I know I think they were married already. Um, when she got on the table, it was like the practitioner, the woman who was putting the event on, was, literally looking at her vagina, and the husband's right there, and she's teaching the husband about the layers of the female anatomy and whatnot. And when the husband touched his wife, she had initially it was like a cringe moment, and they asked her why did she cringe, and when she was on the table like that, and when she got pap smears, that makes her tighten up, and she started crying on the table because she realized that she's been sexually to a degree kind of cold, because her husband was like, man, I be wondering, you washing dishes, that turned me on. She's like, well, I like to be touched and caressed, and that is definitely a certain style of love language and stuff. But that engram, like Ju just talked about, that engram from just going to the doctor and getting a checkup made her tight and contract, that she started carrying over that behavior as a grown woman for many years, man. And see, when you really get to the core of this thing in this reality, it ain't got nothing to do with nobody else, far as what somebody else in a political stance is. It's gonna boil down to you and your own self-work that have to be done. And I say this and give it back to you. There's a scripture in the book of James, I think it's 5:16, that says, confess your sins to one another
Mm.
and pray for one another so you may be healed. The prayer of the righteous is something like what was it?
Profound.
Is
Something along.
profound
Right.
and important.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And so I was on that last night, like looking at that, like, oh, buddy, are you? Because I'm in. Listen, I don't care what you tell me. Listen, boy, the Catholic pantheon, they got receipts on receipts on receipts on receipts when it comes to some mystical healing of people believing in that faith, and people that's dead and their bodies never change form, and many years later their body still had wet liquid blood and was sweating, and they had to change his tomb on 4 or 5 different occasions, and they even put him behind the wall and the wall became moist full of liquid, and they're like, yo, dude is sweating still. His name is Saint Charbel. You better look into this stuff.
Oh.
You better look into this stuff. I better
Who,
stop playing.
who, by the way, a young lady named Daphne Gutierrez, who was blind.
Blind.
She had a some type of dysfunctional cranial nerve.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Where she legally, medically blind,
Mm-hmm.
out in Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
They brought Saint Charbel's relics.
That's right.
To a neighborhood church. She went. Now, her prayer was not for herself, which goes to that James verse, to pray for one another.
Mm-hmm.
Her prayer for her sight, the backbone of the prayer, was for her children.
Mm-hmm. At least do it for the kids.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. That's what she said. At least do it for the kids. Yeah.
They went, she went home that night. 3:00 in the morning, her eyes began to burn.
That's right.
But see,
that's right.
where
And her husband said, it smelled like burnt meat.
said it smells like burning meat.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Now remember, scripture tells you that God is a what?
Burning.
Consuming fire.
That's right. That's right.
And when you start to get into a lot of these miracles that happen this way, they all have the same story. I began to burn.
Instantaneous burning.
Okay.
Listen, ladies and gentlemen. I give y'all one more, and then we can, kind of wrap it up here. There's a guy, a saint, and this is what you would call a modern day saint, died in what we call the 20th century, named Padre Pio.
Ooh.
Okay, there was a lady born. I'm gonna put her name in the chat. Okay, her name is Gemma D. Georgie. She was born with no pupils. Born with no pupils. Went in the vicinity to pray with this guy, Saint Padre Pio, and she can see. She was blind because she had no pupils. The lady can see with no pupils.
No.
I don't want to hear nothing. I gotta say it. God damn it, I gotta say it. I don't want to hear shit about white Christianity poison. I don't want to hear that no more. I don't. Because see, there is a force. You said it earlier. Light
It's intelligent.
is intelligent and it is neutral. You can use it for what you want to use it for. If you want to play the physical, the white man came with the Bible and took your language and then he enslaved you. That was okay. You're right. But I'm gonna tell you, it was another group of white people that had the same Bible and started sending rifles out west, and they started killing the slave masters for you, and they believed in the same Bible.
That's right.
But that's physical. Let's get into some mystical stuff as it pertains to the physical for your overall well-being. Those are facts on the record, man.
Yes. And Daphne, these are facts. The medical association, called doctors, have went on the record to say this is indeed a miracle because we have no medical explanation for it.
That's right. That's right. Now, see, when you start comparing your spiritual work up against the medical establishment, come on, man. That's work. That's
And so,
work. Better leave them people alone.
and
Better leave them
so,
people alone. Hail Mary, full of grace. Better leave them
hey,
people alone, man.
hey, and so look, man, it was a great build tonight. We ain't done this in a long time. Well, we did it a couple weeks ago, but
Yeah,
this is a great build tonight.
yeah,
But yeah, y'all, hey, some people asking where the course is at. He dropped the links in there. Visit the
yeah,
site, theimaginationguru.com. Join the membership, man. It's there.
yeah,
It's what we do. This is what I've devoted my life to outside of my family, my immediate family, my wife and my kids. But and this it though for me, really, to be honest.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
hey man, join the Family Wealth Club.
Nope, it ain't even there no more.
It ain't there no more.
Nah, bro, I took everything down. You
Damn.
can't, y'all can't even get to me, yo. You can't
Oh
even get
well.
to me. You know what I'm saying? And
Well,
I'll let y'all know when y'all can. And so I'm doing some things. It'll be something new that'll be coming where you can. But like I said, you know what I'm saying? Like I listen, man. That's over 20 plus doors. We count doors in real estate, like a 8 unit, 4 unit, 1 unit, like doors. Buying a house this Friday coming up. Um, like I said, I cut over 40 something checks every month. Check same as Cash App, whatever the case may be. I like to take our members and put them inside of actual ventures and we become partners in some things to also start enjoying and increasing our revenue. All right. And the only reason I do not promote that is because it's a certain way that it has to be done. But I got something new that's coming for y'all. I'm gonna show y'all. Listen, I don't want to teach y'all this because I think it takes too much and you may not really have the time and you would jump in it because you may be eager to, but you really ain't gonna stick with it. I got something even better where we do all the work. Only thing you got to do is just put up some money for your own marketing. And I'm gonna show you the check. In fact, the check is clear on the 13th. A new deal that we just did, and I'm talking about it was a gross $84,000, and I ain't never stepped foot in that particular city and saw the house, never, not one day, and cleared juicy like made 84 bands off of it on the gross side, right?
true
I'm gonna
story.
show you how to do this, and all I ask is that you're gonna be in your own city, and you just got to be available to go take some pictures of the place. And when we find a buyer, you can just let that buyer in. But I'm looking to be your partner in some things. Bump you coming and learning. You may not got time. You may quit. And I'm gonna be honest with you. And I just don't like quitters. But if I can do the work, my team do the work, and you just do your little part by getting the list, you can make some easy money, man. We can make some easy money. I already got the system built, and I'm about sharing. I was born with Jupiter and Taurus in the 11th house, so I share money with friends and groups of people.
He
Trust me
does,
when I
man.
when
He
I
does.
tell you I share money, man.
Listen,
I ain't that kind of dude. I share money seriously. I
he
really
does.
do.
He does. He
You
does.
know.
I'm a living witness. He shares money.
You know.
Look, hey, I want to shout out Andrea Heron. Appreciate you. I am Goddess 369. She sent over a cash app
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Thank
donation.
you.
Oh,
I
and for
seen
those
that,
that don't
man.
know, while we wrap this up, Imagination Guru Ministries is a 501c3
Facts.
registered,
Yeah.
IRS legitimate.
Yes.
right? So any donations you make, you can do.
Church.
That's right. You can do your
Yeah.
tax thing, whatever you got to do with it. Write it off. Membership dues, write it off. That's the whole thing. Because all I do, is go in that good old Bible and show people how to really use it.
That's right.
I mean, that's really what I don't know. Why did I wait so late to do that? No, that's all I've been doing.
Man, crazy, man.
I don't know. Just I don't know.
Crazy.
But anyways, so yeah, man, we appreciate you guys for coming out to kick
Yeah.
us.
Yeah.
And you know,
Buy y'all some flowers, man. Buy flowers every week. I mean, what's a little flower budget, man? You know what I'm saying? Get you a little vase and just buy you flowers on a weekly basis, and just start with one bouquet or something, man. They be on sale at the grocery store for $9.99, $7.99. Buy you a dozen of flowers, man.
I know what you're doing. You turning into Akhenaten over there, no.
You know,
I know what
every
you're doing.
week, man. Seriously,
I know what you're
every,
doing.
every week. Don Metatron, man, you know what it is on that Rose Cross, man. You know what's happening. And so, but yeah, man, good show, man. Good bill. Email me. I'm at nobleampu@gmail if y'all interested in what I was talking about, man. Email me, nobleampu@gmail. Get at Minister Ju at theimaginationguru.com. Click on that membership tab, man. It's the best thing that's going on for real, for real. I ain't telling you that because that's my guy. We talking about receipts. You know what I'm saying? So get with us, man. We appreciate you. Love you, man. Learn compassion, learn joy, happiness, and all those good things, man. And we look forward to seeing y'all soon. Peace.
Peace.